Hey guys, welcome back to 719 Projects. We're back at it with the trike build again here. Today's plan, I'm going to look at sorting out the front of the frame here and putting on the front wheel and forks assembly so it can actually be a roller. Plan with that is what I'm going to be doing is got this BMX bike, picked that up for I think it was 50, 60 bucks, something like that. So plan is basically cut it about here without it falling, somewhere around there. So the framework is going to be this area here. Plan to attach it to the frame. What I'm going to be doing is these beams, probably somewhere back here, just cut it on a straight 45-degree angle, have it come out on each side. Reason why I have this pit bike exhaust here is just so I have clearance things, because I want it to be roughly here, somewhere about there. And that should be the plan, and have the, I don't know, that main bar that goes up to the head of the forks there, from about there coming up. That should give it a nice angle, you know, still clear out the carburetor, the air filter, everything like that. Yeah, so let's get into it. Should be fun. Cool. So what I'm going to do now, got a square with the 90-degree and the 45. That's the key part that I want to do at the moment. Got the bar moved basically right across. I want to use this to roughly, it gives me a rough idea where I want this part here moved out. I'm thinking somewhere about there looks pretty good, like should, yeah, about here, which is, you know, more or less right in line, probably about 50 mil or so on the inside edge. That's what I'm working on, the inside edge, for where the thing is. Got a little pointy scriber, that thing, just to mark out the metal here, just so I know where. Grab the angle grinder, cut it up. So I've got that mark. What I'm now going to do is measure from the center bar. Well, no, get this to a 90-degree angle to this edge of the beam here, score it, measure the distance from there to there, from that, wherever that mark is, then replicate it on this side, on the other side, so then when I cut these two, in theory, give or take a couple mil, they're going to be right in the middle here. Should be fun. So you can see here, so I've marked the 45-degree angle, the 90-degree, this is the inside, again this line here represents the inside edge of this for when this bends in, and I've replicated it on this side as well. So 90-degree, 45, again that's on the inside edge. So when I cut this, not the whole way because that's where it's going to be bent. This mark here is going to meet that mark there, and it should be, I'll probably have to trim up these ends a bit, but then yeah, should meet roughly somewhere in the middle there. Okay, so I got them cut. I don't think it's done too badly. I was expecting that, this little lip here, but that's not that big a deal. I was thinking about just getting a bit of, I don't know, flat bar or something like that, just make up a little piece just to, in there. Same on this side. I wasn't expecting them to meet up in the middle here, or wasn't expecting it to come to an exact point. Yes, I know they look a little bit off, they're not, you know, properly put in place. Gonna make up just get another piece of box section offcut that I've got of this 38 by 38. Just cut the 45s on it, probably use the drop saw. For that might make it a bit easier, or even just angle grind this part off flat, don't know yet. Yeah, just a piece straight across here, which that will then have the beam, the part that comes up to the top of the forks there on the mini bike, not the mini bike, the BMX bike. Huzzah! Piece! So I have cut that piece right there. I do need welding glove. This one should work. Yep. Sorry, one-handed things. People with two hands will understand. So to the one-handed people out there. There we go. That goes in there. Voila! My plan is to do another piece just right behind it, just, you know, extra bit of strength. Like there's going to be a lot of forces onto that bottom spot there. Not sure how I might just do another bit of box section on it, not too sure yet, but yeah, that goes in there, something like that. Just got to try and bend the two outer pieces in just a smidge more, just so it's a much nicer fit. Then we are good to go. So for probably the past maybe 25-30 minutes, just been thinking about how I'm going to do the front forks, well the front wheel assembly on from the BMX. So BMX bike. What I'm thinking of doing is somewhere about here, cut that way through there, get another piece of the 38 box section, weld it onto the bike, bring it down however far I need to, and then weld it onto this piece just here. Undecided if I do it on a angle part there, or just do it straight flat and then bring in an extra, you know, structural piece behind it. Don't know, I'm not sure how that's going to work just yet. But also I have been doing a bit of math just with the ride height of this. So from the center of the axle here to the bottom is about 75 mil. With the wheels I'm using, it's center of wheels to the ground, like halfway the radius is about, I think I worked it out to be about 130 to 140 mil. Call it 135, just, you know, it's in the middle. So you're working out that kind of thing, like, do I want to have the trike flat, or do I want to have it with a little bit, okay, not enough leverage, have a little bit of rake with it, so it's the front is marginally higher than the rear. I don't think anything's going to scrape, you know, despite these sticking out quite far. But yeah, I think that's going to be the plan of attack for me. So where that little cable holder is just there, probably cut it somewhere about there, down on an angle like this. So I've got 2 points to weld my box section onto. That should make it nice and strong. Just there will be a lot of force going through that area there, so I may get some small bits of my 25 by 5 or 50 by 5 mil flat bar, just to reinforce it a little bit. With the previous drift trike I had, you know, the weak spot thankfully was underneath the seat. Yeah, it was just a small amount of not very strong tube. I think it was about a 25 by 25 box, and that snapped. So yeah, just got a friend of mine to weld it up for me. This is going back a couple of years now. But I think that's going to be the plan of attack. One thing you might notice is I did change over this part here, this top of the stem, whatever it is. Someone will know the correct name, from the white one that was on there, because it had 3 bolts broken off with the thread still in it, and had a second BMX bike frame I was able to get for pretty cheap. That has all the bolts bar one, so I'm missing just the one there. So for now it's going to work. It's not going to come apart or anything like that. It's nicely tightened up. And yeah, I just need to get another bolt before we do any proper full hardcore rips when we get to that point. So now plan is saber saw or angle grinder. I don't know which is going to be more fun. I think saber saw would be the better option. I'm just going to eyeball the cut. I'm not going to do anything fancy, or, you know, with tape or string or anything like that. Just go cut it there and just go down. Yep, that's about right. Because if there's any gaps, a welder will fill that up. Well, let's get to it. Battery's dead. More power. Well, battery with more power. Cool. Just got to get roughly in the same spot. That's pretty close. Nothing an angle grinder can't fix later. There we have it. Ooh. Yeah, I think I'm going to actually take some measurements and clean that up quite a bit. But yeah, that's the front. So hopefully that's going to be, yeah, don't think you can really see. No, I've got to move shit. But that's going to be the front. Hoping it'll be on a, you know, around about a 30 to 45 degree angle. I think that'll look quite good, fit quite nicely with the theme of, well, not the theme, but the styling I want for it, rather than straight up and down. That's why I cut these at a bit of, well, that one at more of an angle than this one, but I can clean that up fairly easily. Now I've got half a BMX bike to get rid of, so that's going to be fun. And stay. Okay. Can't really see it. Whoop. But something on the long lines of about there. I think that'll be pretty good. Hey, that bar's going to be pretty much straight up and down. Might need to move it a bit forward. Trim a bit more off this. Cool, I think what I might do next actually, rather than weld it to the BMX front, I think I might get this part here sorted out first, get that on the angle I want, get that tacked in place, maybe even, then I just that should be fine, get that at the right angle, because then I can then marry this up, see what needs to be trimmed, what angles I need to do it at, make some marks, do some cuts, make some cuts until it's right, rather than, you know, do the whole measure twice, cut once. It's going to be measure once, oh that's about right, cut 1,000 times. Let's do that, that seems a bit more fun. Yeah, well, let me do some thinking of what I'm going to do. And I'll get right back to you. Okay, so I got the well, part that the forks are going to sit on, whatever that is. It's going to sit there. I do have it on a bit of an angle. Didn't get that part cut quite right. I'm about probably 1 or 2 degrees off. But that's something that the weld can't fix. Part of the reason why it is on an angle, I had to take into consideration the intake and air filter and everything that goes into the carburetor. So I had to give myself a good, probably would be about 130 mil that way. So yeah, get that on there. Just want to mark out where this is going to sit up center in the bottom here, just so I can make sure that things are in the middle as much as possible. So I'm going to start taping this on. If I need to bend it round, I will. Yeah. Weld time. spoilers. Intake pipe. Carburetor. Air filter. Air filter. Why not? Yeah, I think I need to do a little bit more practice when it comes to accurate. That's fucking skew if is anything. That is not straight. I think I might need to grab the welding bits in there. Let me grind all that off and start again. I apologise. There's no video for me tacking this on because it took me 3-4 attempts to get it straight. But I will record it, me filling in some of these welds so you get that satisfaction. That's all mostly welded up now. Got some stuff I need to do on the insides of each side, back here, that kind of thing, but that involves removing the engine, which I can't be fucked. Next step is bring the BMX front over and line that up, see what needs to be trimmed there, but first let's turn off this welder. Done a bit of off-camera stuff, got the BMX bolts part all trimmed up here, got it reasonably flat. Oh well, shit, that's gone. Got it reasonably flat on there, so looking pretty good both sides. You know, nothing a bit of weld can fix up. Height clearance, so you can see that's going to be a more than enough clearance from there. Overall rake of the frame, that should be pretty good if I get it. That should be good, still have good amount of grip on the front wheel. I am going to flip this around, so this part here where the bolts are, that's going to be on this side, so essentially like that. Obviously turn the handle, take the handle off, swap them around, just be a bit easier for when we're in the seating position to grab the handles there. Yeah, so I just got to weld that all up. I'm going to put my other wheels back on, so rather than those 10-inch diameter tyres, I've got some 11-inch ones with plastic sleeves on it already. They fit straight in the hubs, slap them on. So then we have a roller, and then last thing I think I'll do today is get this my chain tensioner sorted, so we can get the chain all lined up, get the sprocket welded on. So then hopefully its next step is going to be seat, foot pedals, and then engine stuff to get that all rock and rolling and be sliding everywhere. Definitely not the most prettiest of welds, but I've been welding 2mm thick ball thickness tube, and I'm pretty sure this bike frame is probably 1.6, maybe 1.5mm thick. So obviously I've been pushing a bit too much heat or amperage or something like that through the bike, through the welder. So I'm just been punching a few holes through it, but aside from a few little bits at the bottom there, so just there and there, welded up. Again, just a few more welds to do down around the bottom, so underside of these, back here, under other sides of this, so the side here and underneath, and then on the other side of the trike here. Then that should be all good, but let's slap some wheels back onto the back, so we can see what it's now going to look like. Move my mask out of the way. I think Last thing we will definitely do for the day is get this chain tensioner sorted. I do have a plastic chain tensioner, for lack of a better word, that came up to suit this 420 chain. It's wide enough. Yeah, get that sorted, get it somewhere in here, make up a bracket, weld it to it, use a bolt to attach it, and then yeah, should have a nice proper roller. After all that work, this is what the trike currently looks like. Ride height is looking pretty good. The frame and design that it looks like, it's pretty spot on to what I have, in my head. I'm not the best person at trying to draw down, like on a bit of paper or anything, for what it looks like. This part here, this is definitely where the seat's going to go. I'm 6'2". This should still be fairly comfortable for someone of my size, and also smaller people, early teenagers, whatever, that wants to ride it. Still keeps the weight pretty central to the whole trike. Should still make it nice and easy to maneuver around and slide, that kind of thing. One thing I'm going to do here is on that front support bar going up to the forks, I'm going to notch it and bend it back. That's going to give me the desired rake I want, and I shouldn't need to change the handlebars that I mentioned earlier in this video. One thing I didn't do is I didn't get to during the chain tensioner. That's just mainly down to I just ran out of time for the day and had some other things I needed to do. Anyway, next time I definitely will be targeting the chain tensioner. Have a good one. Catch you later.